Just thought about that tackle on third down. I think seemed to have the edge on you, and you just kind of chased him down.
Yeah, I mean, we had a quarterback spy on. I was spying on the quarterback. Everybody else was in man coverage. I knew that he would get flushed out the pocket at some point because the great job our defensive line has been doing all game. So when he did get flushed out, it was mainly about just taking angles and not letting him cut back on you and trying to make him see if he can outrun you. And that was what I did. And also keeping them in bounds so the clock could continue to run. They would have to use their timeout there.
Do you think you got a little hand on the shoulder pads or what?
I felt his jersey. The biggest thing is I kind of pulled him towards me and then grabbed him with my other arm, and that's when we fell. So in a situation like that, everything's moving so fast, it's kind of hard to really determine.
D says that after this game, why can't y'all win it all? Are y'all taking that? Have y'all's ambitions gotten that high that you think you can be a contender?
Well, our ambitions have been that high. We always go into every game with a mindset of being our best and getting better, and after the games, when we get in our meetings and our practices and everything, just what can we build off of? So yes, I feel like that this raises the question for a lot of other people, but our goal has been the same, and it's not going to change. And right now we're just concerned about Florida Atlantic right now.
How do you think you did first college start?
I think I did pretty well. I made some mistakes. We went back and graded it up and saw who did what and what mistakes occurred, but it's stuff that we can all learn off of collectively as a unit, and stuff that I know I can learn off of. And I felt comfortable. I felt very comfortable. It's probably the most comfortable I felt playing. And I think that comes with starting and being the first up there, because it kind of gets all the jitters out, especially in a big game. But I felt like I did well.
How many snaps did you actually play in the game?
I'm not sure. It's hard to really determine that. Just like a lot of people keep count or try to find out their tackles. I just go out there and play.
Okay. That play that we talked about earlier with you catching him, do you feel like that was a big play? Because Ellis Johnson mentioned that was a key moment on that last drive.
Yeah, I definitely. I felt like during the game that there would be an opportunity for me to come up with a big play, and there are a lot of opportunities for many guys to come up with big plays, and it definitely came at a key moment. And, I feel like that was a key tackle to not just get them on the ground, but to keep them in bounds. So they were forced to take that time out, and a lot of clock continued to run.
How much pressure was it on you? So you were the spy going into the whole game. That was your role in the game?
Well, in certain plays, certain packages and everything, we switch it up. Sometimes we don't have a spy. Sometimes we do have a spy. And I knew that I had a big role, but you always have a big role as a middle linebacker all the time in getting everybody set up and knowing where your help is on run support and everything. So I don't think I felt any real pressure. It was just, excitement and nervousness to be out there, but it all soon went away when we first got out there and started hitting.
How many times did you specifically spy man zone? How many times was there a play called where you specifically, that was your job?
I couldn't count. It was on and off. A lot of third downs when we knew that he would, obviously his past situations, and we knew that how he gets a lot of receivers open by scrambling. So that was it.
How do you feel you did with the communication aspect of the linebacker position and being in your role?
I feel like I did well. With the knowing that Texas A&M, their crowd was, obviously not as loud for when they were on offense. So the communication aspect was good. Everybody was getting a call. Everybody was hearing me okay, and I feel like it went well.
Do you know if you'll start again this week or not?
No, I think Jake's our starter, and basically it's all about me doing all I can to be the best I can be for this team right now. And right now, that's not really important. It's all about winning games and doing all I can to contribute to the team.
One big criticism that Coach Johnson has had of you, and you kind of mentioned it earlier, is it's kind of mistakes and missed assignments. What do you attribute that to? Is that just maybe an experience on your part, or or just the game going really fast? What do you attribute, and how do you fix that?
Well, I definitely think it's an experience thing. Fixing it is basically what's happening now, getting more reps in the games and practicing and the amount of reps that the second team gets in practice is great for all of us. So I feel like the more experience I have, the more in-game experience, and the more I get out there and I'm able to take charge of the defense like I did this past weekend, the more experience I'll grasp and the better I'll be at it.
What do you know about Florida Atlantic's offense?
Right now, we know that they're they run a lot of different sets. They motion quite a bit, and really we just got some basic stuff on them right now, which was this past Sunday, and we'll really install most of the stuff today.
The spy you guys ran, is that something you guys have done against other mobile quarterbacks too, with the middle linebacker on third downs, that kind of thing? Like Ole Miss then?
Well, yeah, definitely. We may have modified a few things, but it's pretty much the same scheme. It's the same basic thing where from time to time when we're in man coverage, we have a middle linebacker that is spying or just lurking in the hole and looking around to cut receivers, cut their pass off. And take the quarterback if he does escape out of the pocket.
That was something that the team struggled with in some of the earlier games this season. Several quarterback runs kind of broke loose for 20-some-odd yard gains. All things considered, knowing what Manziel's done in the past, he did a much better job of that as a team. What was kind of the key to just improving in that against probably the best player you could possibly face in that position?
Mm-hmm. Well, basics. It comes back to basics and just rules of angles and approaching that game. We knew what to expect. We knew the kind of quarterback he was and the talent that he has. So just like I said, we get better every single week, and we've shown that we've gotten better every single week, and we're going to continue to get better every single week. So that's what we've focused on, and we continue to do that. So we got better in the areas that we weren't so good in before, and we've got better in the areas that we were doing well before.
Coach Johnson said he's proud of you guys in the red zone there late in games, but still getting up too many big plays, middle of the field. What are you guys trying to, how to fix that in practice?
Well, we definitely have to cut down the big plays, and we will. Just basically knowing where your help is in run support, and knowing where your help is also in the passing game, knowing where you have a safety coming down and different things like that from a linebacker standpoint. But we're all, collectively coming together and really just focusing on what we have to do to eliminate big plays.
Have the injuries kind of made that more difficult? Someone different behind you guys at certain points?
Here and there, it has some guys playing at some different positions, but once we patch those things up, everybody will be on the same page.
Statistically, the fourth quarter is kind of where y'all have shined as a defense. The big stop against A&M, just the latest in a long line of big fourth quarters for y'all. What do you attribute that to outside of just being fresh?
Well, definitely we have a great rotation on the defensive line, as well on the linebackers and DBs. Our coaches do a great job of rotating us and keeping us fresh constantly, and it does help. It also helps in rotating us when he just wants to get his point across about a certain play or what they're doing to us. And that way, when the person who just came out of the game comes to the sideline, he can tell you, all right, well, Coach wanted to say this to you. You get on the phones with them, and you talk to them, and you guys get on the same page. It's all about being on the same page while staying fresh and everything.
Is there a change in mentality, though, a different approach that y'all have, or what?
It's pretty much the same. I mean, we pretty much have a great approach into the game and when someone else comes into the game, and just a great mindset of how we need to play the game that we're playing at the current time.
Do y'all feel like as a defense, y'all been in a situation with game on the line at the end of some games, so y'all like that position now because that kind of edge, that kind of confidence?
Well, it's pretty nerve-wracking to everybody, and it's nerve-wracking to us too. So we would much rather be up by points, but I mean we do seem to excel when we're placed in positions like that. That doesn't mean that we always want to be placed in those positions, but we do well. We always respond well, and it's a good sign. It shows us that we have heart, and we know how to pull it out. We know how to come up with a win when the game's on the line.
You went against your offense a lot in the fall and August and everything. What makes the zone read so difficult to defend with Nick and Trey and everything else that's going on?
Well, it's the scheme of it with how they run it is really it's not the same as a lot of other teams, but it's similar. But basically, how quick our guards and tackles come up on us from the D line, it does happen pretty fast. They're in your face right away, and also just the talent level of Nick and Trey, of how they run it, and the various amount of running backs that we have, and how fast they are, and how hard they run, and everything. I think that's what makes it so hard to defend.
You said it's different than other teams. That there's a lot more looks going on out of that kind of action.
Yeah, definitely. A lot more looks, a lot more motions and everything, and different things to take your eyes off of what is really about to take place in front of your face.
I don't know if you're paying attention to it, but you're kind of one of the fan favorites out there, and a lot of fans are kind of calling you to get more playing time. Do you ever hear that? You know, how do you react to that? Just kind of what do you feel about having fans support you like that?
Well, I don't really read it. I love to hear that because everybody loves to hear great things said about them. But I love the support, and I feel like right now we're doing something right, and we're winning games, and that's what's important. And I feel like we have the best fans in the country, and I feel like they're going to continue to be the best fans in the country, and we're going to continue to try to be the best team in the country moving forth here.